Hello and welcome to Cook's Crazy Workshop Shed Workshop. I don't know. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I saw you last. Not really, I've just had my haircut. Today I'm going to attempt to cut out a a holder for a webcam that can look directly down on the bed, which I'm then going to connect into Lightburn, which will allow me to then see what's on the bed, take photos and scan and turn images into vectors, in theory. The problem I have is there isn't really anywhere to mount it to. Most people actually mount them to the frames, but because I've got quite a wide frame on the main laser, it's a 650mm bed, and the height needed to be able to encompass that is quite high. So I'm a bit stuck really with attaching something. I could possibly 3D print something that would sit clasp onto the edge of the rails somehow, but from what my experience of 3D printing, it'll take absolutely hours and hours to do. So instead I have designed something in Lightburn. I'll do an export vector and I'll put that up on screen right now. And what I'm planning to do is to hook the holder onto the bars that run across the top of the inside of the tent. And the ambition, I'm going to say ambition because I'm being ambitious, is that I can use the mounting holes that I've put in there and then some cross bracing and vary the height, not in a lot of detail, but between that and that, let's say, and push pieces of wood in, maybe glue them, and then attach them to the rails using these hooks. Hopefully that will be just a ticket, but it's the first attempt, and we all know what happens on first attempts. They go the shape of pears, so we shall see. I've just done a trace of the actual area, which I can show you because it should be cleared of death now. Plus it's only pine, so not a lot of death with pine. What smells there? Yeah, so I've traced out the design just to make sure everything fits, and also so I can see exactly where, if I need to, I can put down any holding pins, because the wood does have a tendency to burr when it's being cut. I have also got to raise the level of the laser as well, because it's set for 1.5mm, so it'll be half a mil out. Is that taking things too far? Changing it by half a mil? Should we just go for it and see what happens? Yeah. No, because if I do it on a ruined piece of wood, then I'm just going to regret it, aren't I? So let's do the balancing. Let's do the height thing, and then we can go. So I'll put you over here, shall I? I'll put you over here. Like so. Right, don't talk about me behind my back. I'm listening. Come and see hither. Measuring pole. That looks pretty straight. Looks pretty straight. Right, shall we commit? Let's commit. I will record so I can do a time lapse as well. Oh, hang on. Air assist is on. Tent is sealed. Start the tape, and we will burn. Let's just set the burn settings back up correctly. See that. Do it on preview, so put that on burn. And we're going to run at 400mm a minute at max power. and I'm going to do 2 passes. That might not be enough because it's a bit thicker than the normal material, but we shall see. If I don't move the bed, I can always do another pass. Right, let's move that out of the way. Ready to commit and burn. Right, I'll see you on the other side. As I suspected, the work is going to distort, and it has done there on one of my long sections. So what I'm going to do is, when it gets to the end of this part here, potentially letting that end pop as well. There it goes. I'm going to stop the print, and then I'm going to swap can't see me doing because I'm not tracking that now. I'm going to swap to, just need to get rid of these out of these groups a second. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just doing grouping. I don't want to do the slots again. I'm just going to stick them in a tool layer. Do the same with all of these. Get them all grouped. I should film this, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll be a good mushroom. In my shed, workshop shed check, having my tea, because I've got a burn on and I can't leave it, because the shed will burn down. Boiled chips if you're interested. You're not having it. tent. Looks smoky above me. To leave the tent, and then we are going to do some dry fitting of the parts. We'll see how that goes. So I've got it out. I had to do a little bit of clean up with a knife because it probably did need 3 passes rather than the 2. It was just some parts of the wood was quite light, I think, and it just popped out, whereas the other parts was a little bit thicker. It was a little bit more problematic, but it's in. That's what it looks like on the camera. So I've now got a top-down view, which enables me to then place work into the area, and then I should be able to photograph it and then bring that into Lightburn, and that's what it looks like. So it's just some 3mm pine extended down, because that was the length of wood that I had, so obviously it needed to be longer than that, so I had to figure out a way of how to extend it. It might not be the most elegant solution, but it will suffice. It's all friction fit at the moment and it's quite tight, so what I might do is I might just put a little bit of binding around here and we should be good to go.